I'm AdityaReds and you're watching Behind the Scenes. Hi guys, welcome to the first BTS video where I'm going to try and give you guys a behind the scenes look at what goes on into making one of my videos. And specifically today we're going to talk about the Paul Pogba video. Before we begin, in case you haven't watched the video, click the link in the description and let's begin. If I were to divide my workflow into stages, it would go something like this. Stage 1 would be idea, stage 2 would be footage compile, stage 3 would be soundtracks and editing, and stage 4 would be the finishing touches. As many of you know, I always try to tell a cinematic story with all my edits, whether it is the PSG video, whether it is the Pogba video, or whether it is the Dagaya Monster video. They all have one thing in common, and that is they all tell a story. So it is important to have a blueprint in your head as to what is the story that you're trying to tell. For me, the idea of the Paul Pogba video was very simple. Everyone has an opinion on him, and no matter what he does, he will always be judged. From there, moving on to stage 2, which is footage compile. Now, I have been downloading United footages from 2006, so I have a lot of footage to work with. So a quick search in Windows gets me a lot of the footages to start with, but I still have to find more footages because the more footages you have, the better choice you can make when you're editing. Once I have all the footages, I import all of them into Premiere Pro, and that's where we go on to the next stage, which is sound design and editing. Before we begin editing, as a pro tip, it's always good to go through all the footages that you've just imported in Premiere. That basically gives you an idea of what are the shots that you're working with, and it helps you when you start editing. From there, moving on to stage 3, which is soundtracks and editing. For me personally, the soundtracks make 50% of the video. If you get the right soundtrack, half your job is already done. I get a lot of questions about the tracks that I use and where do I find these tracks. Well, it's something that you develop over time where you can hear a track and you instantly know that this track can be used on a certain player, or this track can be used, on a different idea that you have. For me personally, I always choose the track first before I start the edit. That is something that works for me, and I followed this for as long as I can remember. So choose the track first and then do the edit, and not the other way around. For this video, I already had a couple of tracks which was in my head. The first one was from the movie Avengers Endgame. The track name is Dear Mr. Fantasy by Traffic. It's such a nostalgic track and it suits the mood of the promo very well. The second track that I wanted to use was from this London-based rapper whose name is Santan Dave, and the track name is Environment. The lyrics of the song go so well with Pogba's story, and since our idea was also to tell a story from his point of view, it made sense to use this track. Moving on to editing, as you guys already know, I had already released the teaser promo before the main video, so I already had my intro locked, which basically meant that I could straight away go into the main portion and then do the outro to finish the video. I always edit my videos in a non-linear fashion, which means that I could be starting the video right from the end. I can do the outro first, then move on to the intro, then do the middle portion, then again go back to the outro, then again come back to the middle portion. So whenever I'm working, I'm always switching between these different parts. If I see a good shot which goes well at the end of the video, then I'll put that shot right away. Again, by no means this is the perfect way to edit. Every editor has its own way of editing, and that is completely fine. Whatever works for you works for you. This works for me, and it has become almost like a second nature to me. From there, it's all about telling a story, showing Pogba's story from his perspective, showing what makes him one of the best midfielders of the current generation. Now that you have your edit ready, we go into the final stage, which is finishing touches. This stage is all about the details, checking every clip from start to end, making sure the broadcaster's logo is not visible, which gives a nice cinematic look to your videos, making sure that the audio levels are balanced, which means that not only you can hear the music, but you can also hear the commentary perfectly. I hate it when people don't balance their audio because the audio makes such a big difference in the overall mood and outcome of the video. From there, adding transitions wherever needed, color grading the footage, once again checking the video from start to end, and when I'm happy with the final outcome, I'm ready to render, and then I'll upload it on YouTube. And that in a nutshell is the entire process of how I make one of these videos. Hopefully you guys have learned something from this video, and if you did, then please like the video, comment down below what is your process of video editing, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm AdityaReds, and I'll see you guys in the next one.